So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. We're back again with another video. This time, honest feelings about the Galaxy S9. What do I think about using this device after 1 week? I haven't peeled the stickers off the side. I kind of like leaving those on. It still feels new for a little while. But I'm just going to free flow here and talk about my thoughts on this device over the past week of use. Now, first of all, I want to talk about the size. I've really appreciated the size of this device. I mean, it's shorter than the S8, so it's easier to one hand than ever. And actually, what I think, this is kind of like the iPhone, 10 in size. So it's a very good compact phone here. You don't have a notch on this device, so if you don't like notches, you'll really like this device quite a bit. But just reaching up to the top was not hard at all for me. And I don't think it's going to be too much of a reach for people that even have small hands. But if you do, you can just triple click the home button to go home. I don't think I have that feature on, but there's a one-handed mode. You can do a gesture base, it'll bring it down, or a triple click to bring it down. So, it's pretty easy to one-hand this device. That's one of the main things I've been liking about the S9 so far. Next up is the display. Now, I know the display is bigger on the Galaxy S9 Plus, but the display on here is actually sharper because you have more pixels in a smaller screen. So they're basically the same resolution, and this one has more pixels in a smaller display. I got to get that slider over there. So let's hit apply. It's just a little bit sharper than the Galaxy S9 Plus. So text is going to look ultra crisp. And I've noticed that immediately when reading every day, the text on here is just out of this world sharp. So this is really the display or the phone you want if you want the best display on one of the new Samsungs, because although the S9 Plus has a bigger display, this display is actually better because it has more pixels per inch, which makes it sharper. And I really like this lilac wallpaper. It goes really good with the device. Next up, I want to talk about is the performance. The performance, I don't know what Samsung did here with their new version of TouchWiz and Samsung 9.0, but this is the best feeling device I've seen from Samsung when it comes to performance, at least on the Snapdragon side. Now, some of the Exynos models I've tried, the S7 Edge was really fast, just like this when I had it on 8.0 as well. I took it back down to 7.1 because I was having issues. But this device feels just like that. This device is just super snappy, and I've had no lag no matter what I'm doing on this device. It's very fast, and you've seen in my speed test that it keeps up with most phones. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say 8 months down the road, 6 months down the road, the Galaxy S9 is going to lag. And then you're going to be like, why did I buy that? No, that's not happening. My Note 8 is 7 months old, and I don't want to hear it. Oh, you're a tech reviewer. You switch your phones all the time. Listen up. The Note 8 is one of those phones that I've beat on. I mean, I've used the crap out of that device, and I got a ton of apps. I use it almost every single day heavily. So the Galaxy Note 8 has no lag right now, and that's a heavy use case. So, to say that Samsung devices are going to lag up, it's just kind of not true for me anymore here in 2018. Now, granted, I still think sometimes an iPhone feels a little bit smoother, and sometimes there's a little bit of twitch here and there on TouchWiz, but I haven't seen any of it so far on the S9. But I will give you an update on this device later on in the year to give you more of an updated experience, how it's still performing, but I expect it to perform similarly as great. One thing they massively improved too was the RAM management. The RAM management on this device is much better than prior Samsungs. Even this one with the 4 gigs of RAM, it has no problems opening up prior applications that were open in the background, which is nice for a Samsung device. I also want to talk about the Lilac Purple. This color is just phenomenal for a smartphone. I mean, there's a lot of phones out right now, but this is one of those colors that just stands out. Now, granted, I wouldn't rock it personally every day because it's more feminine. I'm actually going to be giving this to the girlfriend when I'm done with the reviews of this, but this device right here, it's a great color. If you want something that stands out, it's a great color. And I mean, you could get it if you're a dude. I'm not saying you can't get it, but I'm just saying that, this is definitely, I think, for the ladies, this color right here, but it's just a standout color. It just stands out when you put it next to the coral blue or the midnight black. So next up is the camera. So one thing I noticed about the camera is that, yes, it has that variable aperture, which is noticeable at night. You will get better shots in low light. That's guaranteed. But it's not like crazily better. Like, it's not like night and day. It's just a little bit better, and a little bit better on a smartphone is always welcomed. But when you take a picture on this device, it always seems to have great detail and is very sharp. I still find your everyday photos to be better on the Google Pixel 2, but I might be comparing them in a future camera comparison, so you might want to stay tuned. But this camera right here in the past week has been stellar. Like I say, small, compact phone with a camera like that. That's a winning combination right there, if you ask me. So definitely one of the best, if not the best smartphone camera on the market. I still personally think, just in my own personal opinion, the Pixel 2 is the better way to go for this regard. But second in line would be the Samsung Galaxy S9 for me. You have all these modes here, and I do have to mention that in my past week, these modes have been a little bit sensitive. So when I like swipe over, sometimes it'll automatically do that. Like I'll try to like flip the camera. I'll just see how that just twitches like that. It's not really a twitch. It just kind of, it just, you'll tap it, you'll select a focus point and it'll just swipe over. It's just a little bit annoying sometimes on this device. Now that super slow-mo shoots in 720p and I've tried it out. It actually looks pretty great in good lighting. Yes, granted, it's not 1080p. Some people are going to say that's a weak sauce resolution. 720, really, on an $800 phone? But give them credit. I mean, at least they're throwing it in there, and it's a fun feature. Most people aren't going to use a super slow-mo for anything more than a fun shot here and there. So 720, I think, is enough for a first-time introduction of this feature. One thing I really didn't like about this device is AR Emoji. Now, I thought it was pretty cool when I played with it. You could see I'm recording on the Galaxy S9 Plus, by the way, if you were wondering which camera. But I really didn't like AR Emoji that much because AR Emoji just kind of looked weird when I started using it more. When I first seen it in store, I thought it wasn't that bad, but when I started playing with it around, I can kind of see why people are saying it's pretty creepy. It's just not as good as Animoji. I just don't even use that feature, but good thing you can turn off AR Emoji. So if you go to edit camera modes here in the settings, you do have the ability to turn off the AR emoji. So you could turn off everything, but you could turn off AR emoji if you would like, making this a really stellar, camera just without those features. So I did like that as well. All this customization in the camera settings, it's a phenomenal setup for, just taking photos on the fly. Next up, something that's not that noticeable, but still is the weight. So the Galaxy S9 got a little bit heavier, which makes it feel like a little bit more of a solid, more premium product. So I usually don't like when phones get heavy, but this one's a good balance. It's not too heavy. It's not too light. It feels premium. Let me talk a little bit about battery life. So battery life with the Galaxy S9 has been good. It just hasn't been great. So this phone can get me through most of the day, probably like 10 in the morning to like 9 o'clock at night, but I'm around 9% on this device. So this is a 1-day phone. It's not going 1.5 days. It's not going 2 days, but the fast charging, it's blazing quick. And standby time is actually not too bad on the Galaxy S9. So that I've been pretty happy about. Standby time hasn't been too bad on this device. Other than that, there's not been much more to talk about. I mean, this device is pretty much the total package. I mean, I kind of do miss the days when Samsung would pop the battery out. You could pop it off in the back. It's embedded now, but it gives you a better design. I do like the expandable storage. I've been using that quite a bit. Just pop the SD card out, stick it in the computer, and start editing your videos. That's a really nice thing here. And I like the peace of mind of having IP68 on the Galaxy S9. Now, one thing I haven't been using that much because I actually already bought Bluetooth headphones, forced by the Apple iPhone, is the headphone jack. So I haven't been using that much, but I do like the fact that knowing that if I do need it, it's there. And one thing people don't mention a lot about the headphone jack is that there's a lot of lavalier microphones, a lot of Rode microphones, just a lot of things you can plug into a headphone jack that can allow you to record audio directly from the device very easily. And people just think about music, but that's one thing I don't like about using phones that don't have a headphone jack. I should also mention the speakers. The speakers are much louder on the Galaxy S9 than ever before. So let's go ahead and just play a quick video from the Nick Ackerman channel. So let's go to Nick Ackerman channel here, and we're gonna play maybe one of my recent videos. Let's play this one.
Is a great buy in March 2018. Now the reason I'm making this video is because
Let's turn on Dolby Atmos. It's already on.
And the iPhone 10, the iPhone 8 Plus. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I've been thinking that
You can see just very loud speakers. So, well, I don't think they're the most clear speakers I've ever heard. I mean, these are just nitpicks. These speakers are great for a phone. And overall, that's it here for the Galaxy S9. That's how I feel about it in 1 week. I really do think it's a total package here. It's a really premium feeling phone. Battery life is not the best in the world, but again, this is not the largest phone with the largest battery. It's a 3000 milliamp hour. It's still gonna get you through the day. The camera overall has been stellar for me, both front and rear, but I still think the Pixel 2 has got it slightly beat in your everyday snaps. Video quality is a little bit shaky in my first week using this device, and the display has been extraordinary on the S9. Other than that, there's not really many phones that can compete with the Galaxy S9, I feel, when it comes to the total package. For example, the Google Pixel 2 offers an amazing camera. It offers great software, but the design, it's like, not the best. Number 2, the iPhone 10 is a first generation product. This is more of a refined Galaxy series phone. And the iPhone 10, I think a lot of people are looking for some updates this year with the newer iPhones. Then you got phones like the OnePlus 5T. Those phones right there are, less money, but you do skimp out on, the 2K display. You don't get the Snapdragon 845. You don't get the sexy design language of the Galaxy S9. So every phone kind of has their drawbacks a little bit. And honestly, I think the closest competition to this phone has got to be the iPhone 10, but this is really a total package. That's how I feel about it after 1 week, but I think that the Galaxy S9 Plus offers a little bit more overall for just a little bit more money. So unless you want a one-handed device in this new Samsung series, I would recommend the Galaxy S9 Plus. But this phone on its own, if the Galaxy S9 Plus didn't exist, would still be at the top of the throne as one of the best phones you can buy right now. Any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, suggestions, drop it down below in the comment section of this video. Nick here helping you to master your technology. Thank you for watching. Be sure to be well, and peace.